The Marcia Week Show. It's the Marcia Week Show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Week Show. It's the Marcia Week Show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Week Show. Talk truth, build roots, stories unfold. Motivate change, mobilize is the mode, that's the MR code. Hey! We growing, we know it.
Troubles are in my way. I do not know my night from day. And when I turn from side to side, oh, like a ship on a rolling tide, I don't worry, I don't fret. My God has never failed me yet. Trials come from time to time, but that's all right. I'm not the worrying kind because I've got confidence. God's gonna see me through, and no matter what the case may be, I just know He's gonna fix it for me. I've got confidence. God's gonna see me through, and no matter what the case may be, I just know He's gonna fix it for me. Wonder just how I can smile, even though I'm going through trial, and just how I can have a song when everything just seems to go wrong. I don't worry, I don't fret. My God has never failed me yet. Trials come from time to time, but that's all right. I'm not the worrying kind because I've got confidence. God's gonna see me through, and no matter what the case may be, I just know He's gonna fix it for me. I've got confidence. God's gonna see me through, and no matter what the case may be, I just know He's gonna fix it for me. Yes, my Lord is gonna fix it for me, because I've got confidence. I know He's gonna see me through. Yes, He's gonna fix it for me. I know He's gonna see me through. I've got confidence. In plenty and in time of need, when His dwelling was young, all brave forefathers saw the sea from which our pride is grown. In pride that makes no one compose of what is as we
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, boys and girls. You just heard the national anthem of Barbados, and you are watching the Marcia Week Show. We're coming to you live from Barbados. I have in my hand the national flag of Barbados, and today is a beautiful, beautiful day in Barbados. It is a Friday, March the 20th. And we are so happy, happy, happy that you have joined us tonight. We have an amazing show. It is time for education. We're going to educate, we're going to motivate, we're going to mobilize, we're going to agitate. We've got life in our body, right? We are alive and well, and we are going to continue. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing. It is a great day. And what do we have coming up tonight? And just before I tell you that, I would sincerely ask you to like and share. Can you do that for me, please? Everybody, if you I need you to like, to share, to subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. You know what you do. Please, I need you to. Very important show. Send it out to your friends, right? To your family. Those in the, send it out in your WhatsApp groups. Okay. So tonight, guys, we are going to be extending condolences to RALPH Thorne, who is a former president of the Democratic Labour Party and the former leader of the opposition, on the passing of his brother. And what I would like for you to do, we don't normally do open the lines this early, the phone line this early, but we are going to open it from 7:15 at 7:15. 7:15, please go ahead and give us a call so you can register your sympathy, your prayers, your condolences to Mr. Thorne. Mr. Thorne has served this country in such an amazing way. Amazing even seems like cliche, in such a sacrificial way. And I believe that this would be, very important at the top of the show. Just call in. You never know, he might just be listening. His family member might just be listening. A week later, 2 weeks later, he might just, listen to one of the shows and hear what you have to say and be encouraged. All right. So we want to recognize him. We would have seen his brother at some of the most of the political events, quietly supporting him at almost every event. And that kind of presence, that kind of loyalty from his brother matters. We stand with the Thorne family tonight. But as we mourn, we must also hold the country together. And it's important that we hold the country together with truth, that we rally around truth. We have some serious questions facing Barbados. We are told that Carifesta would cost $4 million, and we're now seeing figures to over $35 to $37 million. And you would remember Mr. Thorne, when he was a leader of the opposition, he led the charge in asking and requesting, demanding for the Carifesta figures, the budget, what was spent, to be told to the public. He asked for a detailed spending. And you and I know that if he was in that house, we would not hear the end of it. So they quietly slipped that through. We're going to talk about, but we are here. That is not a small difference between 4 million and 37 million. That's a massive overrun. Anybody who does any business, or you didn't have to have a business, you run your household. You know that something is wrong there. You get your paycheck and you said, okay, this is how much I have to spend, And you might, those husbands, you give the wife the money and you said, all right, we only have $700 we're going to spend this month on A, B, C, D, E. The wife goes and spends 800% times that. Can you imagine? Even if she went and spent twice that amount, that husband will be falling out on the ground. So tonight we ask, what happened? Prime Minister Martley, what happened? What happened to this BLP government? We're asking, where exactly was this money spent? Why did it increase so dramatically? Where is the detailed breakdown, Prime Minister Mia Martley? And why has the public been waiting since September 2025 for answers, when at the same time we're experiencing a strain in healthcare, reports of limited operating theaters, delays in surgeries, concerns about conditions in schools and public facilities? So, Prime Minister Mia Martley, we're asking you tonight, what are our national priorities? We saw you try your best to make sure you won this election. You are in almost every constituency as though you were the candidate. So we're asking you tonight, what are our national priorities? And it's not that we're saying culture is better than development. What we're talking about is planning. Do you know anything about planning, Prime Minister Mia Martley? Do you know anything about transparency, Mia Martley? Mia Martley, do you know anything about accountability? And I think I'm running ahead of myself, because we need to jump into this tonight very, very, very seriously. Very seriously. Yeah. So, but before we do that, let's welcome Mavis Lashley. Hi, welcome, Mavis. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. Those are the topics that we're going to talk about tonight. We're also, I forgot to say this, we're also going to look at the fire. You heard about the fire in Bridgetown, right? Oh, my Lord. We have to take a look at that, Aretha. Hi, Aretha. How you doing? Hey, Bajan boy. Judy Jilks, good evening. Hi, Teroni. 1949. Hello, Flo Joe. Good evening. Andrew Critchlow, good evening. Ronald Archer, good evening. Shirley, good evening. Queen D46, good evening. Annette Brewster, good evening. Matthew B, good evening. Matthew B, I am looking into the Cuba issue, and I'm trying to get some information from Cuba, because there are lots of different reports, and I want to know that I'm reporting the right thing. Hi, Heathcliff, good evening. Lori Bob. Sandra Charles, good evening. I'm a big girl. Good evening. V-Hoy. I mean, you were on fire the other night. Good evening, V-Hoy. Sandra Charles, good evening. Mildred, good evening. Hey, Judith and Clark, good evening. Diana Husbands, good evening. M. Gardner, good evening. Anthony Carter. Hugh, it was good to see you the other night, Hugh. Wonderful. Marva Hunt, good evening. Michael Gills, how are you? Sylvia Rock, how are you doing? Beverly Prescott. Kathy Ann, hey, Kathy Ann. NMHC7. Hey, Money Kane Inns. Sandra Brewster, Wayne Austin, Joy and Faith, Annette Brewster, Sugarcane King, Mystic Angel. Hey, Mystic Angel. Judy Jilks, how are you? Tyrone Blackman, Diana Miller, Andrea Critchlow, Justin McIntosh, Marcia Welch, my namesake, Sherry Berry, Ingrid Ware, how are you? Hey, Mavis, I would love for you to call in, Mavis, and talk about him. Talk about David Thorne. Hey, Teroni, Lemuel, Celia Mason, Victorious. All right, I think that's everybody. Everybody, guys, and you might say, Marcia, why are you? Why do you spend time calling everybody's name? Because we do this as a community. The education, the motivation, the mobilization, the agitation is done as a community. We do it together as one people, and oftentimes I'll come on the show and I might make a mistake or I might forget something. Somebody's going to WhatsApp me, somebody's going to put something in the chat, and this show, we do it together as a community. And I love that. I love that we work together and we won't change that. So, you always know when you come on that I'm going to spend some time and I'm going to make mention of these people because they support this show. They're the ones who support this show. Hey, Pedro, I didn't see you earlier. Now, folks, it's 7:18, and I want you to know that this phone line is open. And I know that from time to time, Mr. Thorne will watch the show. And I want, if he should watch the show, he should hear some encouraging words coming from us. Mr. Thorne crossed the floor 2 years ago and became the leader of the opposition. And I can tell you, he did a stellar job. A stellar job. Sacrificial. Sacrificing family, his time, finances that he poured into his work. And the person that you would always see there is his brother. If you ask where's any family member, that particular brother would always be there. David Thorne. The first time I interacted with him was 2 Christmases ago. I went up to the headquarters and I saw him putting up Christmas lights. So he was a true Dave, as Dave is for me, a true Dave, somebody who I'm sure was a backbone to Mr. Thorne because he did a lot of the work from behind the scenes. That's how we operated. He operated behind the scenes, right? And was there to support Mr. Thorne. And so tonight we want to send our condolences to the Thorne family, of course, to RALPH Thorne. We're praying for you, sir. We're praying for you. I want to let me ask, how many of you will commit to pray for Mr. Thorne? At least for the next 2 weeks. You're gonna pray for Mr. Thorne. Give me a thumbs up if you commit. You're gonna pray for Mr. Thorne. Give me a thumbs up. Any thumbs up there? Yes, Emma Hoyt. Yes. So that's Emma Hoyt saying she will pray. Lucinda is gonna pray. Yes. I'm a big girl gonna pray. Marcia Well says yes. Because I just don't know. I mean, Lucinda, he has to be one strong man to be enduring all of this here. We've got to keep him in prayer, in our prayers. V. Hoy said she will pray. Queen D will pray. Andre Critchlow will pray. Is there anybody who wants to call in? Yes. Yes. I'm seeing all the hands and the loves and everything. I just can't imagine what Mr. Thorne is experiencing tonight. I really can't imagine it. Okay, we have a call here. Let's see, hoping this works. Good night, caller.
Good night.
Yes, good night. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to offer my condolences to Ralph and his family.
Yes, yes. Let me
Dave,
just make sure everybody's
Don,
hearing.
all the
Yeah,
peace of God be with them.
yes. Just hang on, please. Are you hearing the caller? Keep speaking, caller. Welcome. Caller,
I'm
go
sorry,
right
I didn't
ahead.
get that.
Yes, keep going. I had asked you to stop, just making sure that we could hear you, but I'm being told we're hearing you. Yes, go right ahead, caller.
As I said, I want to offer my brother Ralph Thorne, and his family all the condolences on Dave. It's like a brother losing, like I'm losing a brother because we grew up in the same neighborhood. And I know Dave quite well. He's very helpful. And I'm really saddened by the news, really saddened. And I wish them all the best. And I pray that God will give them strength and peace even at this time. And of course, ultimately, closure on this. This is very disheartening. So, Ralph, my brother, God bless you. And I pray God blessing upon your life and your family in Jesus' name.
Yes, before you go, caller, you said that you grew up together. Which community was that? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Largely Rosette's community,
In
it was called the
Grazette.
landing scheme. Rosette's community, yes.
Yes.
And yeah, we all grew up together, strict families, strict fathers and mothers. And Dave, and matter of fact, Dave and Ralph and his brothers were more into doing the cricket and stuff because we were allowed to go outside in my family, not like that. But they had quite a good time on the pasture we had out there and stuff. It was quite a good society, a good community, and we've been well known. And I'm sure Hollow Rosette's doing this as well. David's a very good guy as well.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Yeah.
I understand there's some other brothers there are some other brothers as well.
There are quite a few, and yeah, I wish them really, really peace on this. The peace of God for sure. But this is not good.
No,
This is not good.
yes, yes. And he would have lost his mother. Is it about 3 years ago they lost their mom? 3 or 4 years ago?
Yes, the mom and dad,
Mom
dad
and
a little
dad.
while back, and mom more recent. But this is another blow here.
Yes,
This is
yes,
another blow right here.
yes, yes. Well, will you commit to praying for Mr. Thorne and family?
I'm sorry, Marcia, you're breaking up a bit here.
I'm
Don't know
breaking
why,
up.
but you're breaking.
Okay, how
Yeah,
about now? Is it any better now?
yeah, little. Go ahead.
Oh, a little. Okay. I was asking you if you were if you if I forgot the question because yeah, I forgot what. Yeah, so I was
I'm
asking if you're
sorry.
going to commit to praying for Mr. Thorne.
Of course, yes. Of course, 300%. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. One of the things, again, the line is open, and if you want to say an encouraging word to the family, which, as I said, I know that sometimes he would watch the show, and if he is not watching it tonight, sometimes somebody might tell him about it, and he might be able to hear, you know. But I had the opportunity, as I said, of meeting this brother, and then I met two of the other brothers as well, and wonderful people, and their parents would be so proud of them because they've all made something so wonderful of their lives, and very much serving Barbados in different ways. And so, I just always admire this relationship. This picture that you see on the screen is when Mr. Thorne lost the election, the night of it. And this is his brother right there. This is the brother that is right there. This is after he lost the election. He had his family member right there with him. you know, and that's the kind of support that Dave gave his brother up to the last minute, the last, you know, up to when he lost the election. He was right there. He didn't run away. He stood there. He stood right there with his brother. It's a beautiful family. Everywhere we went in Grisettes, everybody had a different story and positive story of their mother, somebody who believed in God and, you know, went to church and took the children to church, and that's where Mr. Thorne got, you know, would have gotten his background and his upbringing, because of, you know, they had a godly household. Yeah. Yes, he was taking care of his brother. Yes. And that's so beautiful. It is. Because I noted that when he lost the election, I'm like, wow, look at that. His brother is there right at his side, hugging him. Yes. Okay, there's a call here. Yes. Good night, caller. Caller. Good night, caller. Caller, you have to turn down your device or turn it off. Turn it off the device. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Hello, caller.
RALPH THORNE, brother dead today, passed today.
Yes, his brother. We got up. We got up to that news. We got up to, yes, I was saying to you, we got up to that news yesterday.
Okay, my sympathies went up to him, right, and the family, everybody.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling.
And Keystone also too. The Keystone and the family.
And the family, yes, yes. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
Yes, thanks. Yes, I'm just reading some of your comments here, folks. Lori says, I always pray for him and the DLP. You know, let me tell you something. All of what is happening is supposed to break this man. It is supposed to break this man. That's what this is all about. If you look at it spiritually, it is supposed to break him. It is supposed to bring him to his knees. That's what it is supposed to do. And that's why he needs the prayers. He must, as far as certain powers that be, what they would want to see him is down on it. They would want to see him down on his knees, groveling. That's what they would want to see. Right. The problem with the "you will never walk alone," Miss Corbin. Good evening. Good to see you and hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a while, Miss Corbin. Good to see you and hear from you. The problem with that song is that, oh, we could probably play the one that Paula Hines sang, Dave. If we could find the one with Paula Hines singing, because if we play it from YouTube, we are going to get a strike. Okay, but if we could find the one that Paula Hines sang, Dave, then that would work out. That would be good. But yes, somebody's asking along. You ask it, and somebody else had asked if we could play "You Never Walk Alone." And that's so true. That brother was there. God is there for Mr. Thorne, but that brother was there, and now Mr. Thorne, he will not walk alone. We are going to be praying for him. Right? We're not gonna listen, they could do what they want to do and say what they want to say. We know what we experienced with Mr. Thorne and what he has done for this country, and nobody can take that out of our hearts and out of our minds. Yes. So Dave, if you can go ahead, I know you have something there you want to play. You have a song there, Dave. Well, we're going to try to find excuse me. Yeah. Okay, Marion says sincere condolences to Comrade Ralph Thorne, his immediate and extended family. Dave Thorne was a very kind and selfless person. May God strengthen the entire family. This is a great loss. Somebody said, light over darkness, nothing can harm Ralph Thorne. A man gains strength from his struggles. Deborah Williams says, my condolences to Mr. Thorne and his family. Patricia says, true, Marcia, nothing will ever erase what Mr. Thorne has done for Barbados. Bioy says his mother raised him in the right way. He won't veer away from it. Yes. And as you remember, we had shown you a speech that he made, that he gave when his mother passed at his mother's funeral. It was so powerful. And from my memory, it was shortly after that he crossed. After that, he crossed the floor, or gave that speech about righteousness exalts a nation, and then we could see what was happening. Yeah. Yes. All right. Dave, you have something to play? Just let me know. Write in the comment in the private chat so I can know. Cheryl Wharton says the phone line is here, guys. If you want to call in at 236-7000, 236-7000. Two, 7,000. Sharon Innes. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. Well, we just send out right now a prayer to him, on his behalf and on the family's behalf. This man, he had a daughter, he had a child, grandchild. And so we send out condolences and prayers and support to the entire Thorne family and their immediate and extended family, the nieces, the aunts, the uncles, everybody on either side of family. We pray that this will be a time when the family comes together and receive of the blessings and the presence of God. We also pray over the DLP family because Mr. Thorne, David Thorne, I was told, worked with each of those candidates as he was responsible for setting up the all of the equipment and the stages and the tents and so on. That was his role. And he's somebody who works with his hands and never sought to be in the be upfront, but in the background. And so yeah, he would always be in the background. So we're grateful, very, very grateful that he of the service that he, both of them, because a lot of times we give accolades to the people that we see, right? We give accolades to the people that we see, but the ones that are in the back, like a Dave Thorne, we don't see that person. Okay, we don't see that person. All right. So and sometimes but we don't know what how we supported him. Okay. Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6, which is Mr. Thorne's scripture, says, this is why I said it's a scripture. Up to the other day when I messaged him, and I was just saying, what's all the best to him, and whatever his plans are in the future. And he wrote back this, Mr. Thorne wrote the scripture back to me. Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6 says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Yes. Yeah. Dave, you have something there to play?
Search me, oh God, I know my thoughts, I pray. Try me, the Savior, know my thoughts, I say, oh God. See if there be some wicked way in me. Cleanse me from every sin and set me free. Lord, take my life and make it wholly thine. Fill my poor heart with thy great love divine. Fill me with fire where once I burned with shame. Grant my desire to magnify thy name. Oh, Holy Ghost, revival come from thee. Send a revival, start the work in me. Thy words declare, thou wilt supply our needs. For blessings now, oh Lord, I humbly plead. Yes. Woo. Ah. Oh yes, just start the work, Jesus. Hallelujah, thy words declare, thou wilt supply our needs. For blessings now, oh Lord, my humbly plead. Lord, take my life and make it wholly thine. Fill my poor heart with thy great love divine. Fill me with fire where once I burned with shame. Grant my desire to magnify thy name. Grant my desire to magnify thy name. Grant magnify thy
Yes. 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 Quite appropriate. And thank you, Dave. Thank you for that. And I want to say that those of you you wanted, you never walk alone. We're not able to put our hands tonight on the Paula Hines version of it, and because of that we're not able to play it because we will have some copyright issues. All right, if you can find that one, then you never walk alone, and you can send it to us. I think we should be able to find it before the night is up, but if you have it, that's the one from Paula Hines. Then we will be able to play that one. But I went on Facebook, and I saw the comments on Facebook. And I don't know if Dave is going to be able to put that up on the screen at this time, but it would be good just to see some of the comments that were coming in on behalf of Mr. Thorne, where Barbadians are just rallying around him. And I would hope that that is regardless of what party that we are from as Barbadians. Death is something that is sure for everybody. And it's not something that, we need to look at, well, in terms of party lenses. But the point is that death is real. And one day it is going to visit each and every one of us, our homes, our lives. And so this is why community is important. And Mr. Thorne has served this country, and I could never, come to do this show tonight and not take a segment of the show to honor him in this way, and to say, to give our condolences and give our respects and our support. Somebody said in the comment section that they experienced when someone from their family died, and what took them through was the support of others, having people for you to hold on to. I know for me, sometimes I don't know how to reach out, to be honest. I don't know how to reach out because you don't want to keep asking the person about the death and the loss, and or to ask how are you doing, that kind of thing. It's really sometimes you don't know what to do. But I think that but you hear from people who have had these losses that having people around is very good. There are people here, Linda. What can I say about Dave? A very nice person, always shout. I was reading something. I see something there from Randall Rouse. Randall Rouse there. I don't know if Dave saw that. Okay. Linda Harris says, "What can I say about Dave? A very nice person. Always shout me when he sees me. My condolences to the Thorne family." And this she said from Cookie. But if we continue up, there's something there from Randall Rose, who is he is the candidate for St. Joseph. He said, "My sincere condolences to the family. Dave has always been respectful and always on hand to assist when asked." And that is what you hear about him. Yeah. And this was on Facebook. Mike Trident Zulu Bowen says, "My sincere condolences to his family and friends. Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord, and be let perpetual light shine on him," etc. And I think if we go up, there were about 400 comments, right? I think I saw that about 400 comments on here about it. People are just streaming in, and as I said, I hope these comments that it's non-partisan. Dolores Paulette, just hang on there, Dave. Dolores Paulette. Dolores also lived in Grisettes, where Mr. Thorne grew up. She knew his mother and knew them from they were children. This is Preacher Granny Dolores, or Dolores. She says, "Condolences, Mr. Thorne, to you and your family. I pray the strength of God to be given to you and your family at this time." Yes. And Mavis Lashley there. Hi, Mavis. Lots of other people. Dave, can we go back to the top? I just want to see how many comments have come in for him. The very, very top, back to where the picture is. Thank you. Right. So you have about 417 reactions, and 413 comments and 43 shares. And that's what we are. We are Barbadians, and it doesn't matter what party that we're from. We're going to we're going to support each other. And so here from the Marcia Week Show, we say again our sincere condolences and our prayers go out to Mr. Thorne and his brother, the rest of the family. And Dave, we say you can't hear us, but we say thank you for the work you have done as well. That work when we haven't even we didn't see you all the time, but we felt you because you were there supporting Mr. Thorne. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, that's the end of that segment for us, and I know we have quite a bit to look into tonight. We have some more areas that we want to touch on tonight. Okay. Now, one of the things that we want to talk about this evening, it's the fires. I want to talk to us about fires. So pause with me a little bit. I know we were in that mode, but if we can just pause a bit, if you just joined and you didn't like and share, I'm going to give you a moment to do that. Yes, I'm going to give you a moment to like and share and subscribe. And yes, Dave, in the meantime, can you play this for us? Thank you so much. You could take it up a little bit so we don't, yeah. Is it possible for it to go up a little bit more? Thank you. Oh, no. All right.
The fire service received a call to a structural fire here at the Costa Mining Building, old Costa Mining Building on Fairhead. Initially, the response came from the Bridgetown Port, Worthing Fire Station, and the Bridgetown Fire Station. We also had some supports for the fire with Tanker 1, and we also had our mechanical staff here to make sure that all is well. Now the building is extinguished. It was brought under control just 8 minutes after 4 this morning. Right now you're seeing the guys still dealing with a couple pockets of fire. You might be seeing some walls collapsing behind us. The structure is now partially unsafe. So we are continuing at this time to deal with the pockets of fire as we brought the fire under control. There were a couple vagrants who were rescued from this building and were taken to the hospital via ambulance. Police are on the scene. The area is cordoned off to make sure that no one is injured if there's a collapse of this building. The fire service received a call to a structural fire here at the Costa.
All right, you can keep that there, Dave, until we find something else. And I think I'm seeing Dr. Ferdinand. Just let me know if you are ready to join. Dr. Ferdinand, are you ready? Just let me know. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. I will say good afternoon. Good evening, Dr. Ferdinand, and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Marcia. I trust you're hearing me okay. Just want to make sure that my
Yes.
level is up. Okay, great.
Yes,
Thank you.
most
Good
definitely.
evening to all of the loyal opposition. I've been listening to the show from the beginning, as I've been making my way in and uh, fulfilling granddad duty to some degree. I did have an old preacher tell me many years ago to have children is one thing, to have grandchildren is another. I didn't take him seriously until I discovered I had 6 of them. So it's taken on quite a task. But welcome. I mean, good night to all of the loyal opposition that are watching us here and overseas. And right off the bat, Marcia, I would like to add my condolences to all that has already been shared with Mr. Thorne with regards to the loss of his brother. Um, Death is never a subject that can be taken lightly. I've found that regardless of the relationship of family, death has a way of really impacting an entire family and relatives and friends. And, the one thing I will say is that within the context of our Christian faith, we have a Lord and a Savior who is well acquainted with what it means to have close relatives and close friends pass away. We know the story of Lazarus in the Bible, that was his very, very close friend. And you remember that when he received the news that he was sick, he didn't have a major problem really. But then when he received the news that he died, he wept. And that is really a show of the emotion that can be encountered in the context of the loss of a loved one, a very close relative, family, and friend. So we want to convey to you, Mr. Thorne, as Marcia mentioned earlier, if you're watching the show, please accept our sincere condolences and know that we are praying for you. Certainly I am, and several of our intercessors are praying for you and for your family, as we would for any member of any political party, even if it's the government. These are things that transcend politics and transcend the party. And so we just want to extend our deepest condolences to you and your family. I was unaware, Marcia, of the fire, but I will say that I learned just this evening. I don't know if you heard of it as yet either, but this afternoon, this evening, as I picked up my grandson from the Dighton Griffith School, I learned of a Collins and knife attack by about 5 men at the school.
Yes, well, we're going to get into that. But let's just deal with the. Thank you so much for saying that, because someone sent it to me as well. So I was
Great.
going to
Okay.
raise it a little later.
Okay, that's
but
fine. That's fine. I wasn't sure if you would have heard about it or not.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Thanks for confirming it. I was trying to get
Yes.
confirmation.
Yes,
but I
it is confirmed.
Right.
Yes.
But so let's jump into this. So we have quite a few things to deal with. We want to talk about these fires, and I want to put forward my theory on it. And it's only a theory. I will tell you when I believe I have facts, I will say, well, I researched it. This is my theory on these fires. Okay. We're going to talk about the schools and what's happening in our schools. I'm going to touch on that a little bit, and we're going to spend quite a bit of time on Carifesta. Very important. Now, if you remember on the show, we showed you a series of fires that occurred right there at the old hospital. The hospital, that plot of land that has the old hospital that was given away to the Afrexim Bank. Who remember that? If you remember, give a thumbs up. We went through the dates with you, and I haven't had the chance today to do that. But we didn't review that before we got on the show. But there were at least 3 fires right there at the old General Hospital. Who remembers? If you remember that show, give me a thumbs up. What we showed you as well, which was very interesting, this Motley government, they were sworn in May 2018, and the following day, the following night, thank you, Queen D, thank you, I'm a big girl. The following night, the old General Hospital was gutted. Fire was engulfed in fire. Do you understand? Remember that. What happened? Remember that just before just before the Afrexim Bank, the announcement, or just after the announcement, you remember there was a fire on Nelson Street, which is adjoining the right there, right beside the Old General Hospital. Who remember that? We showed you that.
Yes.
After that, I went down. I just on a whim, I just went down to Swan Street. Why I was going to Swan Street that day with my camera, I would never know. When I got there, I saw Preacher Granny there. We didn't plan it. I just saw her there, and she just felt led to go there and pray. And I was there with my camera, and all of a sudden, we saw the fire truck coming through that very narrow street and disrupting disrupting the vendors. And I captured all of that. I was there to capture that, and I brought that to you. I also came back to you and I said to you that actually almost a week later there was a fire on Swan Street. Who remember that? I think a lot of you remember. Now, that's in the town area. Then we remembered this act of God fire, this fire which is an act of God that burned down the museum. Who remembered that? The museum burned down. It's an act of God that burned down. This is mine. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. That's okay. I can tell you, you could call me that on this particular issue. I am going by my gut feeling of what's going on here. All right. And now there is a fire right there at right there where we used to have our school somewhere down there in that area. Praise Academy, where it was somewhere in Cavens Lane. Now fire has now gutted this area. And I actually believe, it is my belief that they're not coincidences, guys. I believe that the fire is set for a reason. I believe it's a preparation of the place. These are not, it's not no vagrant that started a fire, or, somebody threw a match or somebody threw a cigarette. In my estimation, these places are being burned down. I remember, Dr. Ferdinand, I went to Wellington Street when there was a fire there. And I had that feeling as well, that place was set on fire. That's what I believe was when I got there, and what the neighbors told me, that the fire service came. This is their allegation. They told me, and they also told the radio station, that when the fire service came, they were surprised that they were not prepared. And it makes me wonder, are they setting these fires for a reason? Is someone setting these fires? What are your thoughts? It's just ideas being thrown out there. Any thoughts on it, or is not something you want to touch, Dr. Ferdinand? That's okay. While Dave prepared the peerhead thing for me, Dave. Thanks.
Well, Marcia, one of the advantages of a fire is that you get rid of a lot of waste material, and it becomes a little easier to clear out an area with regards to the stuff that's left after that fire is completed. And as you know, there is a plan for the entire Bay Street area, Marcia. This is from as far back, or should I say as far as high up as the Garrison area, all the way down to Bridgetown Pierhead, all the way down virtually to the Bridgetown port. We know that there is a plan. There's a pierhead development. I believe that might be what Dave is pulling up. There's a pierhead development plan. We know about the areas coming down between the Hyatt, the plan for the Hyatt and the pierhead, where there's there's going to be an attempt to transform Beard Street into what is called a waterfront boulevard, where there technically won't be any traffic. It will just be pedestrian walkways, that type of thing. So fire provides a reduction, so to speak, in Holloway. It makes it easier as well because, of course, many of those old buildings, Marcia, would have been limestone.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't take to fire very nicely. Limestone crumbles very easily under excessive heat. We have a home that sits on limestone. I have several huge limestone blocks that sat underneath the servant quarters when we bought our property here, and they are in the process of disintegrating. So fire would have added a significant degeneration aspect to that stone, and it would make it a lot easier to clear Holloway, that type of thing. I am not going to I'll follow your lead in that context. You can come up with a number of ideas that you can throw out there, but when one looks at the intention for the area, one is left to wonder. There are only questions that are being asked. One is left to wonder if there is any connection between those fires and the plans for Bay Street. I will also remind you, Marcia, that just about a month ago, we had, while it was not a big fire, we had a small fire at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which the
Yes.
QEH and the fire department were able to bring under control before it had got out of hand. Now, again, we're not necessarily saying that there's any connection between that fire and any of the others that we're referring to, but it just appears that we are having all of these fires. Over the last several years, we've had a number of fires in Bridgetown. And you'll remember the one, I think, that cost the life of someone in that would be Baxter's Road, and that goes some years back. And you're left to ask questions. You're left to wonder what might be the connection. We're not saying there is, but one is left to wonder.
Yes. You have to wonder. And that's it. You really have to wonder, what is happening there. As somebody says, Ninja Man is gone now. So who are they going to blame it on? Right? But Dave, if you remember, there's so many things that we've done on the show. We showed you where they're developing the city for the elite. Basically, is what is going to happen. The city will be a place like the place there that they have down down there in St. James, where
Lime Grove.
In Lime Grove.
Yeah.
Looks that the plan, when you see the plan, it kind of looks like Lime Grove, and so that is what it appears to be that they're planning to do. And that when I went down to Wellington Street, I felt that I was so grateful that no lives were lost, but the fire seemed to me like they are trying to get rid of some of those people there. And that's what it's just my thoughts on it, and to prepare the area. And as somebody said, it will be a millionaire's row. It will be, we're going to be put on the inside, further inland, and they are going to take up the coast of this country. That is the plan. They have sold off all of these areas, and so to prepare it, could it be that they're burning down everything? Dave, can you just play a bit? Let's listen to a little bit of what you have on the screen here. Thank you. I don't know if this is the right. Okay. I think what we're seeing are some of the investors meeting with the prime minister in the area. I think that I thought there was a speech at some point, but we're not hearing that speech. But that's the plan. They're showing you the plan there. Such a pity. These pictures can't be a little, the video is a little bigger, but
We want here to be 12 months of the year. We want to be a good citizen, and we want to make it an exciting place. You've heard the history. We want to recreate that. So it's at the hub of the regeneration of Bridgetown itself. And I've seen this happen. I'm part of that in Dublin, where I've got a museum that I put in there on what was called the wrong side of the river. If you put something compelling in there, people come, and then other people come and invest and create businesses. And I want that very positive reinforcing loop to be the judgment, really, that works on this, the first project that's going to be on the pier.
When Neville came over to Parliament, just after we came into government, and he said to me, I believe that this country deserves the best chance that it can have. And I've taken the decision to put my money where my mouth is and to invest in Bridgetown. And I wanted you to be aware that I have confidence in what you are going to do to rebuild this nation. And I am showing that confidence by the virtue of this investment in the capital city of Barbados.
Okay. Sorry, I hope you were all able to hear or to get to see a little bit of that, of what the plans are. And as you can see, I mean, it kind of looks like Dubai. In fact, that's what we read online that the prime minister said, that basically they're creating a Dubai here in Barbados. In Bridgetown will be like a Dubai. And I don't know if anybody looked to see the audience. I see Patricia I was speaking about that. If you check the audience, look at the people in the audience. They're not regular people. These are the look at the people. That's why I said they're creating something like a Lime Grove, where the average Barbadian is going to feel shut out of it, right? That's what that's what is happening. I mean, don't mind, this is supposed to be a World Heritage Site. I remember when we had our school there, Mimi, we were that was part of what we were told. This is a World Heritage Site where we were located. All right. And how many of you even remembered that I did an entire segment on the proposed investor Neville? I can't remember his name. I think it's Isdell. I did a whole expo on him, on what I found online on this man. And I'm gonna revisit it. And I did it the night, and by the morning they had a full spread in the newspaper on who is this investor, because of the information I found online. If there was something wrong about him, why would they, by the next morning, they had a full article in the paper with his picture, saying who he is, giving his bio. This is this man in the blue shirt there. And I actually did an expose on him based on what I found. And I'm going to go back and look at that. Yeah. Yes, I remembered. Yes, Rescue, you remember that. I did. And so we have to go back and look at some of these things now, because basically what is going to happen is that and the prime minister said it. She said, look at, take a picture of Bridgetown right now. You're not going to recognize it after we're done with it. That's what she said. You're not going to be able to recognize it. And if that doesn't do something to your heart, I don't know, unless you don't have that Bajan beating on the inside, But Dr. Ferdinand, any thoughts on that before we move on?
I found it very interesting. People need to appreciate the fact, Marcia, that we're not against investment. We're not against investment into Barbados. And given that Barbados Bridgetown was declared a heritage site, I would have thought that any development to Bridgetown would have attempted to maintain the historic view, a historic perspective of Bridgetown. I don't know if you remember that. What was that big old lady again, that big fat lady that sat with her feet? And I think it's the building at the bottom of Broad Street down by the Lower Green bus stand. That I think was her building or something like that. But that is what I was anticipating, something like the Barbados Mutual building, where you get a maintenance, so to speak, of the aura of the old historical Bridgetown. But what I am seeing, I don't know what the Prime Minister has in her mind or in her head, but certainly if she is making the statement, take a picture of Bridgetown now because you won't recognize it after it's completed, it's going to have nothing to do with the heritage of our country. And as a result, it's not going to be a heritage site. I just don't see how it can be, not when you consider the type of construction, the type of buildings that we have seen shown in the examples of the development. It's not going to look anything like Bridgetown at any point in time in the past. So I'm a little puzzled by that. We don't have a problem with investment, and I don't want anybody to get us wrong, because investment, given our indebted crisis that we are in, investment is one of the areas of developing revenue for the country. It is one of the areas of providing employment. Nobody's going to be against that, but there must be some degree of tailoring to the heritage and the history of our country. I don't know, to be honest with you, Marcia, a single nation. Even after World War, there were places in Berlin and in Germany that were rebuilt to the identical specifications of the buildings that were destroyed. And if you go to Berlin today, if you go to Germany, you go into Italy, you go into Spain, you go into any of those countries, you will still find buildings, even though they are modernized in terms of the finishes, they are still looking like many of the buildings that existed in its history.
Yes. But, we've been talking about this for a while on the show. We've been talking, we went and we did the Mic on the Move and showed you that even the government buildings there on Bay Street, that's already sold. Do you remember that? I went with the camera and showed you that that's going to be gone. And if Barbadians, those things don't seem to matter to Barbadians. That's what I think. I've just been here 20 something years and I'm mourning it already. I'm mourning Bridgetown, but partly it doesn't seem to matter to Barbadians at all. They go around their merry way and it's not a problem for them. So what can I do about it? Can't do anything but to keep, I keep speaking about it. I know what it's going to be for me to believe that what you've come to know as Bridgetown, as Dr. Ferdinand said, some of the historic sites and so on, they will no longer be there. And people are gloating about that and think it's so great. What's going to happen to you think that the vendors are going to remain on Swan Street? Do you think that's going to be a place for them? Don't you see that is why so many companies are closing down? What they've done, they've increased the rents on these people to get them out. So you have fire. They're using fire. They're using increased rents to get people out of Bridgetown. So a lot of businesses closing down. People are being burnt out. The people on Swan Street, they already know that they will not be there. They're told. People are telling me they're hearing that well, not just hearing, but you need to go and look at the plan. I don't know if Dave can find these plans, but we have shown them. If he can, we can put it up. If not, it's okay. But where you see the high-rise buildings, looks like 9-story, 10-story, 12 stories, that's going up. The same thing that is happening there at Exim Bank across from Savvy on the Bay is what is going to fill up the entire Bridgetown, folks.
Yes.
And they're going to have these enclosed malls. That's not for you nor I. You know, those people in Nelson Street, do you think that they're going to stay there? Those people are going to want to be in their high-rise hotel and look over into Nelson Street and look over into Bayland and all those places. That's why the hospital was moved. The geriatric hospital was moved from there. This is what we have to understand what's going on in Barbados. It's been sold from underneath us, but it doesn't matter to you. So there's not much we can do. You were saying something, Dr. Frederick.
Yes, Marcia, the plan is for 178 residences. Now, it would be interesting to find out the construct of those residences, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, what type of residences, 35 retail, restaurants and cultural spaces, they say, beach club, public areas, heritage elements, and this gentleman, I believe his name is Neville Isdell. He's the sole investor.
Yes.
He is the sole investor in this matter. And I have heard some things. I won't say what I heard with regards to the entire Bay Street development process as to who is a potential investor in that. I will not say who I heard with regards to that, but the person is very, very high up in the country, probably at the highest level of the country known, and nobody can say I said anything. But when one looks at the plans, Marcia, I don't know how you're going to see the sea. As we drive down, you come around by the bridge and you drive down the pier head, you can see the ocean. Even when you turn and you're going down, toward the Deepwater Harbor, you can see the ocean. I don't know that you're going to be able to see that when they are completed and from the roadway. That is for sure, on the basis of the plans I've seen.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. We did a whole segment on windows to the sea. We have done, we had a chance to stall some of this. If we had a new government in, there are some things that you could stall. Can you imagine how much these investors would have poured into elections to ensure that the same party remains in power, to ensure that all of these things happen? Can you imagine that? You should go online and look at some of what Neville Isdell has, some of the projects that he's been, part of throughout the world. And I remember sharing with you that one of the things that they've been concerned about with him is environment, and where they go into wetlands and they just develop and not thinking about the life that is in the wetlands, those of what the environment. So I'm surprised that our champion of the environment would have somebody like him as the sole investor in the Pierhead project. And when you don't have a strong opposition, you don't have anybody to go in to look into what is happening, all of these arrangements, all of these documents, all of the details. What is going to happen to Barbados? What is going to happen to Barbadians? There is no Barbados without Barbadians in it. You're going to basically have all of these, the 178 residences and so on. These are going to be very upscale apartments. This is not something that we're thinking. It's written. Go and look at it. They said at first this would be like Dubai on steroids. They are seeking to outdo Dubai. This
But
is
you know,
what. Yeah, go ahead, Dr.
no, sorry, Marcia. Not only does this, what one of the things that raises a concern, the land was previously government controlled and is being handed over to a singular investor. Now, what are the arrangements in terms of who retains the ultimate ownership control of this entire area? Who retains that? Is that going to be owned by the investor, where the investor now profits from everything to do with that rather than the people of this country? Because remember, Marcia, that the entire land property of Bridgetown belongs to the people. It does not belong to the Barbados Labour Party or to the Democratic Labour Party. It belongs to the people of Barbados. And when you get a single investor who puts his money into this and speaks in the manner that Mr. Isdell, or let me call him Neville because I'm having a little difficulty with his last name. He speaks in the manner he is conducting his conversation. You are left to wonder who ultimately will retain the control of one of the major assets of Barbados. That's its capital city. Who? Have we lost it? Have we lost it?
It's a very good point. But as I said, to me, I care. For me, I seem like I care about these things more than people who are born here. So there's not much I can do. People they're not responding to it. They just want to whisper about it. They're not making any effort to do anything at all. So I can't do much more than continue to speak because that's what Barbadians want. They're not, somebody said here how you're going to have this investor. He's a non-Barbadian, and as Dr. Ferdinand said, being the sole investor in the project. His navel string wasn't buried in some, as I said, was buried in some foreign land, somebody said, right? And this is what our Black conscious PM. She's so Black conscious, right? And somebody else said it's moving from one colonizer to the next. Those are the issues there. But again, it is what Barbadians, it's what you are going to get, what you allow. What you allow is what you're going to get. Barbados, what you allow. This is what you want. A lot of you talk, oh, it's progress and it's development and Bridgetown is going to look like Dubai. And you're excited about that. Did you see the videos of the people when Dubai was being bombed the other day, how they wanted to leave Dubai? Those big high-rise hotels. Sometimes we think that we're so, it's amazing. And how much money is being passed under the table for this? Who is getting, bread from this, as they would say? They voted for this, correct? This is what they wanted. You voted for this. So who am I to say that something is wrong? This is what you want, Barbadians, isn't it?
Marcia, a number of questions come into focus with this entire development. For example, will public access become limited, even if it is not officially so? Will the public be able to access any and every, and I'm not talking about the residences now, with due respect. We don't expect that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can walk into somebody's residence. My goodness, we don't even do that in our homes. We understand that. But in terms of all the other aspects of the development, will the general public have the liberty and freedom of access to those? And then, Marcia, given the dynamics and given the proposed target, the demographic of the persons, who will be employed in terms of managerial positions and that type of thing? Are people going to be imported from overseas because they carry a particular demeanor and a particular look so as to be able to line up and match? Look, Marcia, I've watched this in Grand Cayman, where Caymanians are ripping hell because an ordinary Caymanian could not get employment within the context of what would be determined, what would be expressed in Grand Cayman as the expat developments when you see some of those developments in the Cayman Islands. So what happens with the job perspective beyond the construction process? Okay, well, you need the hard laborers and so on to do the construction. We get that. But now what about long-term involvement? Who are the people going to be working? And then what is the governmental and by extension the people's revenue earning that is going to come from this development? That is something that I don't recall ever hearing being put forward by anybody with regards to this project. This is the investment, this is what it's going to cost, and this is what we as the Barbados government, the people of Barbados, are anticipating to earn from this project.
Yeah. And somebody, you mentioned the top level jobs, and actually just before you mentioned that, I wrote on the word jobs here, because something that that former Senator Crystal Haynes, that she said, but most of the jobs that are going to be left for the average Barbadians are the jobs to clean. We're the ones that's going to clean. We're going to be the maid, the chefs, not even the chefs, because they usually bring those from overseas.
Yes.
But the menial jobs, we're going to take care of the garden and make sure that these elite people are living in luxury. That's a hurtful thing about this situation. But again, this is what we are read, and we are ready to be enslaved. We are read and ready to be enslaved once again. Just like in Dubai, they brought in all of those people to do the menial work, all the migrants. And they don't need to bring in any migrants really, but everybody that's where our children are supposed to be. That's the kind of job our children supposed to have, right? Where they are the ones cleaning the toilets and they're cutting the lawn. Is that all for us?
Yes, Marcia.
Is that what is for us? We are ready and ready for enslavement once again. We are ready and ready for colonization again.
Yeah.
Is that what this is all about? But it's your choice, isn't it?
When you drive around the country, Marcia, and you look at who is cutting the grass on the side of the road, they're all young men. And you had a young man on a couple of nights ago who was a candidate for the Democratic Labour Party, who mentioned that he was a chef. He's been trained in being a chef. And I wonder how many of these young men on the side of the street cutting and hoeing and cutting grass are just being given the crumbs falling from the table, so to speak, just to keep them occupied and to keep them, out of our way, so to speak. But, when I look at and I'm sorry, but when I took a look at a broad-based look at the budget, what I saw were the crumbs falling from the table for the ordinary low-income to middle-income earners, and the creme de la creme are the people who are really going to be earning the big dollars and that type of thing. And that's not fair. It's not right, not when you have a country in which a government is supposed to be a republic-based government, of the people, by the people, and for the people, and doing what is in the interest of the ordinary man in Barbados. I can tell you, Marcia, no one on the Gold Coast is going to suffer throughout anything happening in the next several weeks, several months that we have seen in the budget. But I'll tell you who will suffer. That's the low income and middle income and the poor people now who used to be middle income earners in Barbados.
Yes. And someone reminded me, about the fire station, where, we were saying this doesn't make sense. They're stupid. Why did they take the fire station where you have, all these people live on Nelson Street, Bayland, and all of that, and you take a fire station from the city and you put it right there near the motor vehicles in that area. I forgot the name of that area. Why would you put it there? And one day I was driving past it and it just clicked. Marcia, it is there because all those people are going to be moved inland. That's why the fire station is there. They're going to move the people inland. Even in St. Philip, the fire station, the police station was at a beautiful, they were on a beautiful location. They overlooked.
Yes.
Really very beautiful.
Yeah.
and they moved the police station and put it in 6 roads because they have sold that.
That's correct.
They have sold that.
Beautiful
Everything that
views.
is beautiful is beautiful. It is just too beautiful for us. And that is what Barbadians are happy with. It is just too beautiful for us. And I pass the last thing I'll say about this, because we were going on a bit too long in this segment. Oh my goodness. It's I'm passing Sam Lord's Castle. And like you, I saw the young men there. Young men, they're blowing the
Yes.
the environment. They're the blowers,
Yeah,
cleaning. Young men. And then you see people just going in the morning for work. People who can't even spend money for a night at that hotel. And you see the tourists and I said to myself, wow, look at slavery all over again. And these guys, they probably feel really good to be out there. They are 18, 19 years old, and they're blowing. They have a blower on their back early morning, and they're blowing the dried leaves and cleaning the place. And I know that every society you're going to have people who clean and so on. But the big question is why don't we see any other race out there cleaning? Why don't we see Indians out there with that on their backs cleaning and blowing leaves? Why we don't see Indians cleaning toilets in this country? Why we don't see white Bajans doing it? Why? If there's a company that's doing gardening or landscaping, it's white Bajans who own it or the Indians who own it. When will we have a government that is going to seek to lift up Black people in this country? While we end up with all these menial jobs, and now they come to push us from everything that's beautiful, everything that makes us, that connects us with the sea and the coast and everything that makes us human. For that matter, that's taken from us, and we're pushed into the center of the island like hogs and goats and animals. Dr. Ferdinand, the last comment, and then we move on.
Marcia, it's because throughout our educational system, and I thank God for what our educational system has provided. I don't want anybody to think that, I'm disingenuous as it relates to that. But throughout our educational system, we have never taught our people how to invest and how to become entrepreneurs. That has never been schooled in our educational system in Barbados. We've been taught to go through our degrees and go through university to come out and go to work for somebody. That is the fundamental mentality that we have been schooled in, because you're going to get a job in a bank, or you're going to get a job here, or you're going to get a job there. But the whole aspect of investing, when our parents, and sometimes our parents were responsible for this as well, Marcia, but again, they were schooled and brought up in this kind of colonial mentality. We were never given the opportunity to come into the places of the colonial masters to be able to invest and buy property and develop and build, developments. And that was never encouraged at all, not even by our governments down through the years. So you come now, you sow to the wind, you reap the whirlwind. So we come now to the place where we have pretty well lost control of our country, and others who have invested, who are putting their money into real estate development, and who bought land and had it sitting there, are now benefiting from the aspects that would have meant to them.
And, Vihoy, I could spend the whole night on this, but I can't. You can tell. I'm very... I don't know. These kinds of things, I'm very passionate about this. And because when I saw those young men blowing the thing, I almost cried. I don't know. These kinds of things, Dr. Ferdinand, and I heard you mention it. I tell you, and because I have children.
Yes.
And that is what and they're supposed to wake up and feel good about themselves. Listen, Vihoy, you're hitting Vihoy. Oh my goodness, Vihoy. Vihoy says, when sugar made us free, the whites benefited. And guess what? They pushed us to the ocean. Right? They pushed us to the ocean because the ocean towards the sea, and I heard that from a historian.
Yes, that's right, Marcia.
Historian. They and Bihar, you are correct. They put us to the sea, and our foreparents, what they did, they started to grow crops in the sand. Our foreparents, the historian told me that, and Dave knows the historian, he can write it in the chat for me. The historian, when I went to his house, you remember he told us that. We did so much on the show. He said our foreparents grew crops on the sand. Okay? They gave us the worst. It was crabland. Where the crabs are, they gave us the crabland because they thought it was nothing, and they were in the interior of this country. And now they believe that the ocean is money. They are pushing us into the
country.
Right? And we are going to sit and just take that. I just cannot understand it. But I guess it's not for me to understand. The ocean is now money. Right? The ocean is now money, and therefore it is too good. And that's the point I'm trying to make. And where are the leaders? Where are the leaders who will lead us as a country, lead us as a people? That's the kind of leadership that we're looking. We'll be able to put the policies in place to make sure that we get a piece of the pie, that we get a piece of what is happening. We get a piece of this money. We get back our ocean. Where are those leaders? That's where my heart is tonight. But we are ready to give the money to the other folks. That's what we are ready to do. Yeah, but we have to move on, and we look again to see what they are look and see what they are ready about. Okay. Somebody, oh my goodness, the senator that spoke about our coastline was removed. Correct. They could not have her there with what they plan to do. And everything we're saying is what the senator said. Senator Crystal Haynes.
Crystal Haynes, that's correct.
Right? She said, leave something for us. That's all she said. And they said, come here, baby. We need your Senate seat. So Joanne is wrote in Barbados done so. That's all we do. We sit down and we talk that. Oh, they're selling out Barbados mean nothing to you. And not necessarily you, Joanne, but I'm just saying. It means nothing to Bajans. I have to come to that conclusion. It doesn't mean anything to you. It doesn't mean anything. And that is sad to watch.
That is so sad. So sad.
That's sad to watch. Yeah? That is sad. That is sad. That is sad to watch. But let's go to Carifesta. Now, Dave, I sent you some documents here while the show is going on, because people send me things while the show is happening, and while Dave is let me know if you're able to put them up. Just write me in the chat. I sent them to you. If not, it's okay. But I want to talk to us about Carifesta, because Carifesta is one of the points that I must say that Ralph Thorne and this show made a big issue about Carifesta and the cost of Carifesta. We spent weeks on that on this show. And they have waited until Ralph Thorne is no longer there to then decide to tell us. Not even coming to the public to tell us. It's hidden in the supplement somewhere. All right? Not even they didn't wait, they didn't come and make an announcement to us. $4 million were allocated. We went through that on the show. We showed you the allocation. It was 14 million, and part of that 14 million was Carifesta. Carifesta was 4 million, and then you had We Gathering was another set of money, and also Crop Over. All of that was in that in that 14 million. Carifesta was 4 million. But when we saw all of what was happening, Mr. Thorne and ourselves, we were on the show and we were asking if $4 million was allocated to Carifesta. We're seeing all of what was going on. We know that there were lots of problems, and then they came in and swooped in and did a lot of changes and so on. We brought on Stephen Lashley, who I reached out today, and he was not in the island, and so on. So he wasn't able to come on tonight, but from $4 million. This is it, that what was allocated in there. And I got this from someone sent this to me, and I believe this came directly from Mr. Corey Greenwich's presentation.
Yes, it did.
$4 million. And I can't, I'm a person who like to give Jack the jacket. Mr. Thorne, I know you might be in grief tonight, but I want to say thank you to you and thank this show for keeping this issue on the front burner. Okay? As VR said, that we have been asking for months about what was spent on Carifesta. And Mr. Thorne was giving them a lot of problems inside there. And Barbadians, they don't realize, look at this situation here. Look at what is happening. So $4 million. All right? Now, the supplementary estimates reveal an additional spending. So, Dave, if you can put up the next one that you will see, it's a similar one to that. You will see this supplemental. You will see a different one if you are able to. Yes, thanks. So, look at the figure to the right. $31 million more. $31 million more. So what the supplemental is, it's, you have the estimates, which is what they think that they're going to spend, which is what we went through the estimates. And a lot of people thought, why are you going to the estimates? We want you to bring you part of the process. We wanted you to understand what it's all about. So it's like you have your estimates. They are the different ministries. This is what they believe that they're going to need. And one person come and say, we're going to need $1 million. Another ministry said, we're going to need $2 million, and so on. And out of that, they create a budget, which is what we heard Ryan Strawn. He presented the budget. So you have the estimates, you have the budget, but then you have the supplementals. Now, what this is, it's, whereas the year before they would have had estimates, right? And they would have a figure in the budget and what they plan to spend. But if there is any, need for where they overspent or they need more money, the supplemental part of this process, that's where they come and they present this in Parliament for it to be approved, for them to be able to get that extra funds that they need, right? And you're going to tell me, no wonder they said they were going to give us what it was in a month's time. Mr. Thorne was asking for it. We were asking for it. They said that at the end of September, they said in a month's time, we would get it. The month came and we noted it and we did not get anything. We went on and they had elections, nothing. And you mean to tell me, Barbadians, this is what you voted in? This is this kind of mismanagement that you voted in? I can't even understand it, guys. This is not about politics, people. Right? You're telling me that we have concerns about healthcare access, infrastructure, public services, right? And this is a kind of large spending overruns that we are seeing, and this doesn't mean anything to you. I put a post on Facebook, and I saw somebody, one of those that obviously they are read and ready, and they said that, oh, this is nothing, this is just inflation. Well, inflation, yes. They said a chicken used to be $15 and it's now $30. Oh, this is nothing.
But this is a year ago. This is a year ago, Marcia. This is not like 5 years ago or even 3 years ago. This is last year.
Last year. And they said to me online, this person said to me online, go and check my Facebook page. They said, and you know what? You had people liking what he said. They were agreeing with him. Barbadians. That's why I tell you, you deserve the government that you have. You deserve the mismanagement. And the question is, where is the breakdown of this $30 million, over $30 million? Where's the breakdown? And the thing is, Dr. Ferdinand, the transparency that we're asking for is not something that should be demanded. It should be standard. We need to get an itemized breakdown, the details of how did you spend this money, because it's not your money. And when will Barbadians begin to begin to demand this? We should never have gone into elections with these things outstanding. Put on top of it, you put back the same government in that has mismanaged the money. And you know what? The real Minister of Culture was Mia Motley. The Chantel Monroe Knight was the minister in the Ministry of Culture. The person who mismanaged this money is Mia Amor Motley. A bad manager, a bad financial manager, and it's not the first time. She does not know her head from her foot when it comes on to management. I am saying that because that's what I believe. We are responsibly asking, where did it go? Where did it go? Why couldn't this money been used for all the different areas that we're concerned? There's supposed to be 8 operating theaters at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, only 1 working. Somebody said to me, Marcia, I went to get my eye checked or some eye operation, and she said they all had to leave. She messaged me today. She said, Marcia, we all had to leave. We all had to leave because there are no doctors. That's what we are ready for, to be treated poorly. Dr. Ferdinand, what are your thoughts?
Marcia, I see a comment here by Kenneth Norville. He says I know he's being sarcastic. The cost overrun isn't much, only about 695% more. In truth and in fact, Kenneth, it's 800% more. It's $4 million, and the figure that we are looking at is 31,741,000. That's close to 32 million. 8 fours are 32. So in truth and in fact, Kenneth, a project that started out costing estimated 4 million costs $35 million. Now, one wouldn't even mind if that $35 million resulted in $200 million benefit or $200 billion benefit for the country. But the reality is that the benefit to the country, no matter how you break it down, comes nowhere near $35 million by any stretch of the imagination. We hosted an event that inevitably has finished. We have two monstrosities, two of the ugliest things that you have ever seen erected in this country. And Marcia, I'm going to tell you, the first high wind we have in this country, and this is one of the things that raises a question to me, the Prime Minister is the propagator of increased climate change and more volatile and stronger hurricanes. How in the name of peace could you invest this kind of money in that structure at Carifesta village and the one up by Newton, knowing that this country could be faced with a Category 5 hurricane that would be eradicated off the face of this country just like that? It would be history. So all of the money you would have put into that is gone in a shot. Not even like the building, and I know the building that they have constructed for the Barbados Export or whatever it is up there by Newton. I know of that building very well because I have already contacted them in terms of representation. That can handle a Category 5 hurricane because of its shape and design. But the monstrosity across the street could never do it. So we have wasted the money. We make nothing from it. And there is no accountability and transparency. What is the breakdown of $35 million, Marcia? Can anybody tell us? And to make matters worse, you are going to have the Minister of Finance wanting to castigate his fellow economists when they are drawing attention to these matters.
You're so right. You seem to be stuck there, Dr. Ferdinand. But I actually have the clip there from him, but we're not going to go to that clip yet from him. I want this to sink into Barbadians because somebody here, Roger says here, and I tend to believe it, is that you Bajans like being treated badly. This is wrong. Where else can this happen, folks? 800%.
Madness.
800%.
Madness.
And you know what? You all want to castigate all the other ministers, but the Prime Minister, you put her behind. Nobody must touch her. But she was responsible. This is her ministry. Go back and look. Chantal Monroe Knight was a minister in the Ministry of Culture. The Minister of Culture is the Prime Minister, Mia Motley. And she is who mismanaged this money. She mismanaged this money. We have to call a spade a spade. And that's who you put to run this country and to lead this country and think it's going to be run properly. Think about it. Dr. Ferdinand talked about the structure at Newton. What about the tents? They put down tents.
That's what
I mean. At Combermere.
That's where I mean, Marcia. One good win and they're gone. Yes.
I thought it was the other place where the chicken.
No, both of them. Both of them.
I mean, if they had just done some research, they would remember that there were some tents that were put up in the car park there at NCF. And yes. I believe it happened under their government for the same Carifesta, and the wind came and blew them away. And here it is again. They went and spent all that money and put that there. And I remember their Combermere, they put that tent there and put up a floor that cost millions of dollars. Mr. Thorne told us that. Millions of dollars. And then we had a picture on here. Did we have a picture on here, Dave, with the same tiles that were lifting up? If you had sent that to me, could you resend it to me? Somebody sent me a picture with the tiles lifting up of the floor of the same of that what they had set up there. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Dave. Look at your $37 million. Look at it. That was done. It was done August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months later, look at the floor. Look at the Carifesta floor. you're going to tell me that they are going to go, everything must continue in this country like nothing happened? This is the Carifesta floor. You know what? You all made sure Mr. Thorne is not there because nobody, you don't want to hold them accountable. You don't want to hold them accountable. And very soon they're going to come and try to shut up yours truly. Because let me make this bigger. Look at your taxpayer money. Where you think they're getting the money from? Out their pockets? Out of their pockets? Look at it. Look at the floor. Look at your money. This is your money. This is your $38 million, $37 million. Look at it. Or 35 million. Look at it. Not even a public toilet to use in the gardens. They have to bring toilets in. Huh? Right?
And can't even pay the artists in our crop over festivals anywhere close to what they will pay the Trinidadian artists for coming in here and performing for half an hour. And we're satisfied with that. But you're going to spend $35 million in a structure that cannot handle a Category 1 hurricane, not a Category 1. And I say that without any possibility of any contradiction or any argument with anybody, right? Because for the last several years, Marcia, I've been doing a lot of research on alternative building construction processes for Barbados with the hope of finding something that could help to reduce the cost of construction in Barbados. And that, as I said, that building system sprung. You can go and look it up on the website. That building that is at Newton for the Barbados Industrial Development Corporation. I'm not sure exactly what aspect it's going to engage, but that's a sprung building that's designed to withstand hurricane winds. That process.
Well, I mean,
why not use something like that?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Continue.
No, Marcia. I'm just saying, why didn't they invest in something of that nature? That company manufactures buildings, Marcia, that could span the entire area of what do you call down there again? Got me so confused. I can't remember the name of down in there by Combamere, Waterford, down in the Waterford area. And completely encapsulate everything functioning inside of it. I know those buildings, Marcia. What is down there, I'm telling you, one good blow and they're gone.
Wow. Listen to me. I mean, this is very, 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 very serious. And I join with the DLP in asking for some breakdown. We need to see the details of this. And I think this is a hill that Barbadians need to say, we are not moving from this. This one is clear. This one is clear mismanagement by the Prime Minister of this country. And if your Prime Minister of your country could waste money like this, look at this floor. 7 months later, look at it. Yes, for some Bajans, whatever she does is right, as somebody told me today. Trust me, they'll soon start cursing me again on Facebook. Yeah, as they're trying to put wool over people's eyes about this inflation. Inflation? Listen, I did a thing there. Let me see if you can call in. You can call in. Be free to call in. This is your time. Be free to call in. And I would like to hear what Barbadians have to say about this, because I don't know unless it is that you can't be the same. You can't be children of Barrow. You can't, you ain't the people. Something wrong. Something is wrong. Completely. You want to tell me you allow people to beat you down? And then come rob you, they beat it on. You go to the hospital, you can't get any help. No, 7 operating theaters, 8 operating theaters, and 7 not working. You go for your eye operation, you can't get any eye operation, you have to leave. The hospital is in a mess. Let's just even start there. And you take up $30 million and throw it away in the wind? Throw it away in the wind. We have nothing to show for it. And you think that that is normal? It's like you take a man, you beat him down, and then rob him. And you're going to tell me, no, if you think that that is normal, you're accustomed to abuse. You should not let go of this. This is not no 9-day anything. You're going to make noise about it and then you forget it about 9 days. This is what I will hit the streets. So give us the details. And don't tell me about no other administration. We're talking about you, Mayor Motley. It's you we're talking about. You're a bad manager and a bad leader. Marcia Weeks, say that.
And you have every right to.
There's a caller on the line there, Dr. Ferdinand. Please hold a minute. Caller, go right ahead. Welcome to the Marcia Weeks show. Where's my manners?
Thank you so much, Marcia. I had to call in because the show is really peeing me off tonight. I'm really offended and I'm really upset. I want to say that, all throughout the elections, we heard red and ready, and really and truly, they're red, but they ain't ready. Craig Greenwich on this very show posit that politicians are elected to represent a constituency and not a party. He argued that, this went over a lot of people's heads. I don't think that they understood exactly what he was saying. Your representatives are there to represent and to fight for you. They're there to stand and fight for your community, for your neighbor, for everything that you need. But yet they're not. If you really think about it, did anyone stand up and talk to Mia about this 31-point-something million dollars? Do you know what that money could have done for you, what it could have done for your family, what it could have done for QEH, what it could have done for the kids coming out of school and can't get a job, but instead we use that money and party? Your representative is there to ask Mia or say to her, no. If you look at your community and you find that your community is struggling and that there's nothing going on in your community, that your roads are horrible, she just spent $31 million on party that wasn't even successful. And your representative did not say anything to Mia. Let's talk about Mr. Strawn, that is so offended and upset because, they claim that the budget is a 6. And he thinks, well, you guys aren't that smart. How can you not agree with the budget? But really and truly, did he tell Mia we cannot give you $31 million for a party? Over 800% that he gave her. And he agreed to give her. And families in Barbados are struggling and people are still sitting down saying they're red and ready. Well, guess what? Continue to live with that because it is not helping us. It is helping to destroy Barbados. And if you're not angry tonight and you're not going to do something, I see some person in the chat she said, you know what should happen now? The citizens of Barbados need to sue the government. We need to take them to court. And I totally agree with her because this is bordering on ridiculous right about now.
Well, you know what, caller, I can guarantee you they will have to show me that not a lawyer will take that case. Not a lawyer in this country. Not a lawyer, because they too are afraid of her. Because she is responsible.
Why? I don't understand why. Our officials are scared of her. The courts are scared of her. The police are scared of her. What is it that she has over people that they are so scared? What is it? I'm asking the question. Are people scared that somebody's going to pay some person $3,000 to kill them? I said somebody, I didn't say her. What are people scared of? I don't get it. But there are more of us than there are of her. And I don't understand why we continue to be so scared. We're going along partying and that's it. We don't care what happened to our kids. Barbadians, you gotta wake
I
up.
have to wake
You
up.
gotta stop thinking that everything is okay, because everything is not okay. That $31 million, unless you can show us where the money come from, it's taxpayers' money. Don't you care where your money is spending? Because I'm telling you, if you're getting a paycheck every week and somebody is telling you when you get your paycheck, you got to give them your money so they can go and party, and you can't pay your bills and take care of your kids, you'd be very, very offended. And that's exactly what is happening right about now.
But caller, I want to keep you on a little longer because I know you're from the diaspora. And Dr. Ferdinand, Dave, if you look at your phone, Dave, you will see a little graphic there that I sent. And caller, I know you're on generally most of the times, and you would remember probably, and Dr. Ferdinand as well, where we had done a breakdown looking at over the years what countries would have spent on Carifesta. And I just want to remind the caller and everybody, in Suriname, in 2003, of course, we know there's inflation, so
Yes,
give and
that's
take,
right.
right? So Suriname, 2003, 1.5 million Barbados dollars. We put this in Barbados dollars so that we can compare, right? St. Kitts, 4 to 5 million, right? In Trinidad in 2019, 12 to 14 million, right? Barbados said that they were going to spend 4 million. Look at what they spent, $35 million. The typical range, I didn't put all the countries here, but the typical range is between $3 to $8 million is spent on Carifesta. That's the general range, caller. However, your prime minister went and spent $35 million. If others did it for under 5 million, why is Barbados doing it for over $35 million? Caller, I would love your thoughts on that.
Listen, you have to show me where the money was spent, because I don't see where the money was spent. I don't see where we got anything. And again, they can tell us 35 million, was it given to somebody? I mean, because we don't see it in the outcome. And if you recall, there were people still waiting to be paid after Carifesta, a long time after Carifesta. So where is the $35 million? That is what I would want government to show me, because I don't really necessarily believe it, right? Where's the product or the products that cost $35 million? Tell us, because I don't know, and I don't see anything that says this is the amount of money to that effect. They can write anything on a piece of paper, Marcia.
Caller, I just thank you for calling, but I'm really hoping, I know you're not living in Barbados at this time, but this is your country. And my hope is that
I didn't hear that. Can you repeat what you just said?
No, I was saying that I know that you're not in Barbados at this time. But I am hoping, I'm hoping that Barbadians will not sit and take this. I don't know if they will. That's the truth. I really don't know if your people are going to do anything about this. We do not, if Mr. Thorne was in there, this would be a hell and powder house. It's going to happen now. But we don't have him.
We know that is the reason why Mr. Thorne is not there, right? They don't, I'm sorry, but look at the independents. Right? They're sitting down and they're all nice and cute and all that stuff.
Correct.
And the reality is that they're questioning, because we need people to ask the tough questions. Like, where was the money spent, and can we see where it was spent? Right? Anybody can come and say anything. One of the things that you talk about on your show a lot, when people donate things, you come and you give a breakdown. Let me show you where the money was spent.
Correct.
That's what you do on your show. That's exactly what government need to do. Anybody can say anything. We need to see where the money was spent. Show us the receipts, and then we can start questioning you. But the people, the independents that are there, are sitting and saying nothing. That is why they don't want Mr. Thorne, right? Condolences to Mr. Thorne and his family, and he is really missed in this arena right about now. I miss his voice. I miss his questioning. Right? He's been asking about this budget for the longest time, the budget that they spent on Carifesta. He's been asking that question and nobody would answer. Nobody would answer. So Barbadians, you have to stand up for yourself because nobody is going to stand for you.
Yes. Thank you so much, caller, for calling.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night. Thank you, caller.
Dr. Ferdinand, jump right in
Yeah,
there.
you know, Marcia, this is what the Auditor General, this is what the Auditor General, this is what the Auditor General, can I say that again? This is what the Auditor General is supposed to pursue. This is what the Public Accounts Committee is supposed to pursue. It is to deal with the expenditure of government. Marcia, I believe you're an accountant yourself. You know, when I send, sorry, folk, you all know I'm a car man. When I send my car to the garage to be serviced, it comes back $35 for oil, $65 for transmission oil, $45 for spark plugs, so much and so much for this, and $190 for labor. Total bill, $700 and something dollars. We have not seen that for a single expenditure of this government at any point in time. $60 million spent at Hope. What's the breakdown of $60 million? $35 million spent in Carifesta. What's the breakdown? The tent costs so much. The accommodation costs so much. Transportation costs so much. What's the breakdown? And what I've observed, Marcia, on the basis of Mr. Strawn's response after the budget, is that this is a government that does not like to be scrutinized, analyzed, and called to account. And as a result of that, they get very angry when they are required to give an account. You know what that is? Arrogance and pride. That is what it is. You think you are in control. You think you are the masters of the people. You are not. You are the servant. You are the slave of the people. Let me put you in your right place, please.
Yeah, you know, guys, the line is open. I see somebody was asking if it is time to call in. This is your country, and I would like to know, what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this? We joined the Democratic Labour Party in saying that this is not this. You can't explain it. It's not. There's no way anybody could accept this. If someone is doing a job for me, and can you imagine you're building your home, Dr. Ferdinand, and your home, and the contractor is saying that they've gone 800% over budget. Oh my goodness, you'd be getting a lawyer. There'd be a lawsuit.
They'd be fired, they'd be sued, and I would be looking for somebody else to do the construction.
Exactly. The only thing is that it's done already. It's done already, and they're about ready now to do another. They're ready now, and they're ready to do. They're done, and they're ready to do another piece of construction for you. You would never hire that person again. But that's what Barbadians did. They went ahead and hired this same prime minister. I wanted, Caswell Franklin used to say something on the show, and I was one of those who would say, no, I didn't really agree with what he was saying. And he would say that she's not competent. And I would always say, I don't believe that. I would say, I don't believe that. But as the more I sit here, caller, can you turn down your device? Take me off of, make sure that we're able to hear you. I'm coming to you, caller. What I say, go right ahead. All right, go ahead, caller.
Hello, good name, Marcelita Fernand. What you calling to say? You blame the Barbadians for everything going on because the money about the Barbadians are probably getting away a lot of murder, and people don't really come up on the street. Yeah, boy, they ain't gonna tell you that you're going on the money. Or where or that case maybe everybody in the whole center will be just quiet and say that nothing is going on in Barbados, but pretending that people come out fighting for the rights. So you gotta ban Barbadians for this freedom behavior to have. Because when you check it, other countries just come out one and don't keep hearing all these people, they're
there riots.
Go ahead, caller.
Quite honest, true now, right? Barbadians always settling for less. Because when you check it, like other countries, they're going to come out and stand up for what they stand for. That's it. So if you're going to continue letting Marty and the Barbados party do the feeling, right? And so you got to come out automatically and go away. So a lot of kids need, okay, we used to do marches. So okay, we start marching and etc. So this, is like a lot of corruption more is going on right now. Which we need to nip it in the bud before it get any extreme worse. So by being together, start this for them behavior and really come out of race and make sure they're going to go a future for, as they say, all the time, for the children, the grandchildren, the great grands, and etc. Because how you look at it, Barbados is going to be no more.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, caller. Well said. Thank you. I have another caller right there coming in. Thank you so much.
Okay. Blessings to you.
Yes, sir. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Hello, good night.
Yes, good night. Go right ahead. Thank you for calling.
Good night. I can hardly hear you, but
you can hardly hear me. I don't know. Everything is turned up. All the volume is turned up here. I don't know. Yeah, it's still a problem. Still a problem.
Not as much. Not as much. I hear you a lot clearer. I have asked this question before, and I'll ask it again. Who, individual, or what body of persons can bring charge against this present government? How can we proceed to get that done? You didn't talk, there's action now. How can we proceed to bring a charge against this government?
Well, you know what I said to you, caller, is this. I know you have more to say, but just quickly say this to you, that I've heard everybody asking that question. Why don't you guys seriously go and look about it and not wait for somebody to figure it out? Why don't you make that step to find out? That's where I think we need to get, everybody need to realize that we can't wait for anybody to do anything for us. Because I've heard people ask that why this is not done. Why is it? You've got to get up and do it. Find out. Research.
That's to find out how I don't know, but I would like to. Because we need this money back.
Call a lawyer and ask them. That obviously, if you talk about a charge, you're talking about court. Call a lawyer and ask them.
Start with Corey Greenwich. Call Corey Greenwich and speak with him. I'm sure they can guide you.
Yeah.
Because we need this money back. We need this money back. First of all, I would like for them to cut the pay that they recently received.
Correct.
Give it back to the people. Second of all, they're not kings and queens. They need to retire at 65, 67, like everybody else. They're not above the people. So we want this $35 million back because I cannot see where it has been spent. And I believe it is more than $35 million.
Yes, me too.
A whole lot more. We want this money back. They can't continue like this. I talk about we care. We ready, give me the vote and watch me, all the buzzwords. You're robbing the people blind. We need our monies back. Something must be done. Something must be done. Something must be done. It cannot continue. That's all I have to say.
Well, yeah, thank you, caller. And you're right, but it's going to be up to you and the rest of Barbadians to determine what must be done. You have to move it from this discussion all the time to action. What is it that must be done? All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Marcia, I want to suggest that one of the things that can be done is that Barbadians need to turn up when there is a constituency branch meeting, regardless of who turns up from the government, and lay into them for all of this. That is one place that the whole equation could begin. If we stop being afraid, turn up en masse to constituency meetings And if they want to call it, disrupt them with these questions and demands of the government. The government owes it to the people of Barbados. They are not our masters. They are our servants. And they are obligated to give an account to the Barbadian public as to how you are spending their money.
Yes, there's a call, Dr.
Yeah,
Ferdinand.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Good evening, Marcia.
Good evening and welcome to the Marcia. Yes, welcome to the Marcia.
What I would like
show.
Mia to do. She need to go. She don't know how to spend no money. She need to go. We don't want her no more in Barbados. We don't need her anymore. She don't know how to spend no money. She don't know how to run no island. She's just a chaos in this Barbados. She need to go. I'm sick and tired of her.
Well, the people, you're saying she needs to go. The people have just voted her back in, all 30 seats. So how will she?
That is fair election. That is not a fair election to me. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, that's not a fair election to me. Paying out to get votes is not a fair election. I always say a fair election, not a by-election. There's a by-election. And this election should go back over. This is a stolen election. She and her crew has to go, need to go.
Well, the only way they can go, caller.
We need another election this year.
Well, caller, it is that the people will have the people. That's the only way. It's that the people have already decided that this is who they want for their prime minister, and that's it. They've already decided that.
Yes. Could you tell me or tell the people of Barbados how to go about that we get another election this year?
No,
this year
we
is
can't.
not election. Is not a fair election.
Yeah, but Judy, I'll tell you this because I know your voice. I'll tell you, there's absolutely nothing you can do. You don't have enough people in there. She's made sure that there's nothing you can do. You don't have any opposition in there for them to. There's nobody. There's no vote of confidence. No confidence. Nothing can happen. She will remain there until the next election. That is it. You can't do anything.
What we need to do is to say we could get Donald Trump or somebody into this election, because I am pleased with this election.
Well, I don't know how he would come in.
Putin, somebody.
Oh dear me, that would be another another global sting.
No comment. Well, thank you.
We get in contact with Mr. Putin, Vladimir Putin.
Listen, caller, thank you so much. God bless you. You made us laugh. Thank you, caller. Yes, that's my friend there.
Oh, dear Lord.
But we're laughing here, but I'm hearing from a pensioner here, and this is why I get upset. People say sometimes, Marcia, calm down. I get upset because of the needs that are in this country, Dr. Ferdinand. And people who can't even, they don't even know how to write $1 million out of, they've never seen $1 million. There's so many of them out there. And you have taken your party, you spent $31 million on party, because I'm hearing that he's saying that all of those structures, that's not in the $35 million. The structures are not in there. So what did you do? That means we spent $35 million to party. Basically is what it is. Now, I just got this from somebody said that their welfare checks have been held at the post office the whole weekend. The postman didn't bring it today, got to wait until Monday. I'm on welfare because I was taking care of both my parents that died 2024 and 2025. I have to get back on my feet. I feel bad to see them spend so much money on Carifesta and giving pensioners $100 for only 1 year. And the person writes, wrong. You have got to see that. Where are the pensioners? You have to say that that is wrong. And not just say it, but do something about it. You, the pensioners, have to do something about it. Why is it that you cannot get your welfare checks? What about the person who went to get the eye operation today? And I had to come back, I had to leave there because no doctors at the hospital. She went and walked through the hospital before the election to show, as a show, and they just bought it. Huh? They just bought it. She walked around in there, walking fast like she's busy. I will once again tell you that woman she does not have the ability to lead this country. She does not have the ability to govern. She does not have the ability to manage. I said so. I am saying so. Do what you need to do. I am saying so. You do not have the ability to manage. It is clear. It is clear. 800% increase, overrun, you are fired. That's what you should be.
And then to attempt to justify it. You know, this is a thing that I find disingenuous, and it angers me. I listened to Mr. Strawn's, I read the news reports regarding Mr. Strawn's disingenuous attacks.
I think we have it now. I'm going to see if Dave can play it. I think we have it there.
His disingenuous attacks on fellow economists. Rather, it shows the arrogance of the individual. Rather than reaching out and saying, okay, guys, and it's disrespectful. Some of them could teach him economics. And instead of reaching out and saying, okay, guys, look, we finished the budget. Some things you all don't seem to agree with or whatever. Let's sit down together and let's look and see, where we can reach compromises, however you want to put it. But instead of that, you're going to get up as though you are the only Lord God in the country who has the economic capability to be able to articulate the economy of the country, and all the other economists are misleading the country and don't know what they're saying. You are an idiot. I'm sorry. You are a total idiot to have even engaged that mentality, and you do not deserve to be the Minister of Finance in this country. Any decent, any humble, any authentic professional would sit down with his compatriots, with his equals, and put their heads together for the benefit of our country. This is not about you, Mr. Strawn, and it sickens me to hear the crap that you talk with regards to your other economists in this country and how it reflects on the Barbadian public. And you need to resign. If for no other reason, you need to resign.
We're going to show you what he said, and this is how, and I agree with Dr. Ferdinand, completely arrogant. And you're going to see what they're going to say tomorrow, and what they will start to do to me and to the show after tomorrow. They're going to step it up. We understand that. But you will not stop us from talking. And I'm grateful for the economists that are taking that piece of nonsense and saying what it is. I'm grateful for the economists that are saying that. Thank God for them. Don't stop speaking, economists. We need you to speak. And when the DLP and Corey Greenwich and all of them speak, we stand with them as we stood with Mr. Thorne. What are you talking about? There will be no division here. You come for the economists, you come for us. We've got to stand together. Let's hear what this arrogant, because if an arrogant person is a fool. You know that, Dr. Ferdinand.
Yes.
Anybody who is arrogant, an arrogant person. I'm so sorry these videos can't blow up a little more, but I think because they're Instagram. An arrogant person is a fool. So let's listen to this, what this arrogant person is going to say. Go ahead.
Every economist
A very, very, very clear focus now with respect to what we need to do in this country. And I think that all the economists have to pull up their socks, sir, and settle down.
Who the France you think you are?
We have economists in this country, one, who suddenly, sir, found their voices. When they were silent, when the debt, fiscal, foreign reserve, growth, everything. And therefore, I am concerned about what it is they are teaching at the university. One of them said that they'll give the budget a grade of 6. One said a grade of 6.5 out of 10. I will remind those colleagues that the grades that you've given perhaps are a B or a B plus. Perhaps. I got first class honors there. But we have a very, very, very clear focus now with respect to what we need to do in this country. And I think that all the economists have to pull up their socks, sir. And
yeah, we did say if you're an arrogant person is a fool. And that's what you have just said.
You just heard.
Yeah,
you just heard a fool.
You just heard a fool right there. So you're telling us that we are not, this is so much Animal Farm. Listen, I need to get off this show because I'm getting very angry right now. This is Animal Farm. This fool is trying to tell us that we are not to listen to the independent professional voices in Barbados. Well, I tell you something. Well, I tell you, we must not listen to Anthony Wood. Oh my God, I tell you.
And we must not listen to Troy Lord.
No, we mustn't.
Wait. Hold on.
Didn't he just hold him? He wasn't he a junior, like a junior minister who was walking behind the PM carrying our handbag? Wasn't he that same one? The little junior minister? Oh my God!
And he's talking about honors. I wonder who gave him those honors. Who taught you? You're going to have. Oh my goodness! Where is it? You're going to have economist Jeremy Stephen. You're going to have economist Professor Troy Lord. These are men who are looked up to in our university, our highest school of learning in the Caribbean. Mr. Anthony Wood, a former lecturer at the University of the West Indies, and you get a degree from the University of the West Indies, if that's where you got it from, a class honor, as a result of these type of people, and you are going to disingenuously come and talk the rubbish that we just heard? What foolishness is this? You're disrespectful to your fellow colleagues, and you're disrespectful to the citizens of this country, and you should resign. I don't even want to see or hear you at this particular point in time. And people might think, well, Reverend, you're a Reverend. Well, let me tell you something. Let me get something clear with you guys and a Reverend. You should take a leaf out of the book of Jesus Christ when he walked into the temple and found people doing the kind of thing that our government is doing. You know what he did? He sat down. He premeditatedly plotted a whip, and he didn't go after the turtle doves and the sheep and the goat. He went after the people with the whip. So don't talk to me. When God gets indignant about people, believe you me, he acts in a very emphatic manner. And the problem we have in this country among church leaders is they don't have the intestinal fortitude to stand up and call a spade a spade. I don't have a problem with it. And I'm not afraid of the Prime Minister either, because I know who has my back. And if she dares try to lift a finger against Marcia Weeks or myself, we have a God above that will remove her from office without an election. Believe you me.
Listen, Dr. Ferdinand, I tell you, this
rubbish am I hearing?
This little junior, he just graduated from a junior
Silly
minister.
man.
He just graduated from a junior minister carrying around me a handbag. If he must remember that. That's what he just did that. So I don't know where you all of a sudden you're getting too big for your pants, huh? And putting down people.
Disrespectful.
Right? Putting down people, you're disrespectful person, you. You're disrespectful. Your head is getting too big for your shoulders. That's what it is. You're becoming a big head, is what it is. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be brought low down to your knees, is what you're going to do, because this economy, Dave, Dave, this is what they're not showing you. Look at the other one, Dave, right above that we showed last time with the graph, with the bars. Look at it. He has arrived nowhere. He has arrived nowhere. He has arrived nowhere. You're going to see the same prime minister that now made him graduated him to minister after all this time and allow him to speak. She has allowed him to speak. He's talking about economists that have now found their voices. Huh? You have not found your voice. Why? You have not been given your voice.
First class honors my eye.
Huh?
First class honors does not make you expert or make you professional individual when you go through a class section, and come up with first class honors doesn't make you an expert until you have gone through the exercises and you're working with people.
Look at this bar chart here, Dr. Ferdinand. We did it the other night. Look at the debt per capita comparison for these countries. Right? Barbados, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. I showed you earlier that Trinidad and Tobago had a Carifesta, right? They had no, we're not. No, we want to accept another caller, Judy. No, okay, a Carifesta, okay, and Trinidad. Their budget was a fraction of what Barbados spent. A fraction, Dr. Ferdinand, of what was spent by Barbados. And look at their public debt per capita. This is what Ryan Strong needed to come and say in Parliament. He never said it. Look at it. Look at Barbados. And this was in 2020. This was actually in 2023, and it is more now. In US dollars, we were at $40,000 per Bajan. It's the amount of debt we're carrying. While Trinidad is down to about 5,000 US per Trinidadian. Jamaica is at 7,500 US per Jamaican, and Barbados is at 20,000 in 2023 per Barbadian, and right now it's at $54,000 per Barbadian. And you're going to come and talk about you're so great and you're the worst, because the public debt is the same. The same. You have not done anything. The only thing that's different is that you are very skilled at borrowing. That's all it is. You beg and you borrow. You beg and you borrow. You're a beg and a borrow government. And you are doing a terrible job. Mayor Motley, you're a terrible, you can't govern anything. I wouldn't even trust you to go to the supermarket for me, Mayor Motley. I would not give you $100 to go to the supermarket. You would not be able to you wouldn't be able to carry out the instructions. You can't. You can't even you can't manage nothing. You can't even go to the fish market or the supermarket, much more to govern a country. Awful. Awful. And I'm not hiding my mouth and say what I want to say. You all do what you all want to do. You have shown that you're red and you're not ready. You have done a poor job and will continue to do so. And we should have known better. We went on here, we looked up EduTech. We did a whole thing on EduTech. Who remembers that? Where she did so poorly on that. There's no ministry that Mia Motley has been head of. There's no project that she has managed that has been successful. So how did you think she was going to run a country? How did you think Mia Mottley was going to run a country? When she did such a poor job, poor Owen Arthur had to keep moving around, basically firing her, moving her from this one. Everywhere she went was a mess. And she's making a royal mess out of Barbados. Just look at the other Caribbean countries. I'm showing you here. I'm showing it to you here. None of the other Caribbean countries wanted to take Carifesta. Don't she? Oh, we'll take Carifesta. And overspend by 800%. How could you be fit for leadership? Huh? There is none. Anybody can tell me a ministry that she was head of before she became a prime minister and that it was successful. Please tell me one. And we're not done with this yet, you know, Dr. Ferdy. This we're not as somebody said, yes, the church, you can't depend on them. They're going to get their $5,000 and everybody going to try to explain it away. And they're going to take it. And that's it. You're going to hear the people on social media that are going to come for me tomorrow are the people that have gotten money out of it. You see the ones that are going to scream the loudest and tell us to leave them alone, and it was okay to spend the $35 million and for a budget to go for them to go 800% over budget, and that it's okay. Those are the ones that receive money from out of it. Those are the ones. Mm-hmm.
I can tell you.
Or the social media influencers who decide to say nothing. When you hear them so quiet, too, those are also the ones. Go ahead, Dr. Ferdinand.
No, I was just simply going to say, I can tell you one person who ain't get a cent. And you're looking at him. And I can tell you, I don't need to get a cent, and I don't want to get a cent, because there's not a dime or not a dollar on the planet that's going to shut my mouth and to prevent me from speaking truth. I've made that commitment to Almighty God, and I am not joking on a matter. I've always said to people, don't cross swords with a man from God. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. When you go through the entire scripture, it's a bad idea. So I am not going to be bothered by anybody. You can attempt to. That's entirely up to you. Weapons will be formed, but they're not going to succeed because you have no idea who you're dealing with. I am nobody. I appreciate that, but I know who's got my back. And I know who has Marcia's back. And we have a responsibility to stand up and speak the truth. We have a responsibility as Barbadian citizens to ask questions, especially when when this government campaigned on transparency and are now failing to produce it, and then have the arrogance to stand in the House of Assembly and make the nonsensical statements that we heard Mr. Strawn make. The arrogance is disgusting and detestable, and a lack of humility. That is what we have just witnessed. I'm glad, to be honest with you, I'm glad I didn't hear it live. Honestly, I'm glad I did not hear it live, because even just to hear it in a recording is disgusting. And I'm going to say to the economists in this country, and I believe Marcia would agree with me, you're welcome to come on the show and defend your cause and defend yourself if you feel to. Who are these gentlemen? Let me call their name again. And somebody rightfully put it in the chat. He received what it is? First class honors. Who is he, professor? I don't see professor next to his name. I see professor next to the name of Mr. Anthony Wood. I see professor next to the name of, let me make sure I have them correct. Economist Jeremy Stephen, and economist Professor Troy Lord. Respect your compatriots, Mr. Strawn. How dare you? How dare you disrespect them in the manner that you have, because you have the platform in Parliament and people can't sue you for making a statement in Parliament? That's what the rationale is going to be. You've been caught with your pants down. That's the bottom line. And I'll tell you, I have read some of Mr. Wood's analysis of this budget. And I don't think he would give you a 6.5 out of 10. I think you would get considerably less. And I saw somebody on here tonight talk about a 4 out of 10. And to be brutally frank, even by a casual observation of this budget, I wouldn't rank you past 20%. Because all is talk. That's all it is, a lot of talk. That is all we're hearing. No substance, no plan, no projections, no way of costs and costs of the processes that you're going through. No way of breaking down things and saying to the people of Barbados, this is what we're doing with your money. It is our money. These are our assets. The properties on Bay Street belong to the people of Barbados. They do not belong to the Barbados Labour Party. I'm disgusted with this perspective where we have a government that thinks it owns things because it's the party in power. And I am going to make a call on every single one of them in Parliament. If you have the intestinal fortitude, don't allow the Prime Minister to intimidate you when it comes to crossing the floor. Cross the floor and let her try to articulate the legislation she just passed. And let's see what will happen.
Miss, somebody said, you know what? You blame it, blame it on the Bajans. I say you have the government that you have because that's the government that
the
you
government
want.
You chose, yes.
You chose this government. You chose
it.
it. Okay, you get the government you have. The one you have is the one you chose. When Mr. Thorne was in there asking for the details on Carifesta, the budget, he wants to see it. He was he was on this before Carifesta had ended, all into September. You are some of the same ones that were saying that he is, guess what? He's, it's too much. And every time he goes in there, too much noise and too much this and too much whatever. Now you see. And this is okay for you? Are you happy with this? Are you happy? I know of artists in Barbados that they never even, you take like Corinne Clark's, I believe her daughter, who is a singer, they never even involved that young girl. And I'm just using her as an example. So they shared this out among themselves, and they knew election was coming. So they were electioneering. This is all part of it. That incompetent prime minister that you have. That's what has happened. And I am appalled. I honestly, it's my opinion, and I'm free to share my opinion. And I've come a long time to as I said, to arrive at this. I actually think she's the worst prime minister in the entire Caribbean.
It's not a matter of thinking, Marcia. She is the worst prime minister the Caribbean has ever engaged. It's nice for her to walk around and talk and talk fancy. Talk is cheap. But substance is where the matter lies.
She has no substance. And I wrote on my page, and a lot of Christian people came for me, and it's my opinion. And you all can tell, I said that she's a coconut head. Her head is empty as an empty, dry coconut. And I don't take it back. It's my opinion. I know what I open a coconut, a dry, empty coconut. You see a coconut there, and you want the coconut, and you open it and it's dry inside, you're angry. And that's why I'm so upset, because I was one of those who believed the woman was smart. I never really liked, the way she did things and so on. This is before she came in power. But I thought because she spoke so well, I thought she was smart. And I would always say to Caswell, whenever Caswell would say that, about her, that she's not that smart, I would laugh at it. And I would not agree. He will tell you. But over time, I realized that she's a coconut head. She has nothing between the ears here. She's giddy. She's a person who comes up with these ideas. And okay, when you think of the green thing that the database center, all those people that you saw spoke in Parliament about that data bank, she's like them. They're dreamers. These people are dreamers. They talk a good talk. You understand? But they don't follow through. You can't find something that they've completed. And that's the problem with Mia Motley. She speaks well and she could sell you anything and any idea, but nothing between here, empty as a dry coconut. And I don't take that back. And if you think that it's my opinion, I'm going to say what I see. It's my opinion. And I've come full circle to realize this lady, this woman, we're going to celebrate women leaders. Yes. We're not going to celebrate her as a female leader because she's a female leader. They say, oh, you're putting her down because she's a female leader. No, I'm looking at the results. It's empty. She's empty. She has nothing to offer Barbados. Absolutely nothing. But speaking. And I think the whole world is coming to realize that. And when she's ready, she switches her speech. Look at when she was pointing at Putin. You Putin, stop it. And now can she point at Trump? You're saying she's so bold and she's so brave. She put out a press release and she, guess what? She turned on Iran. To tell Iran to stop firing missiles on the rest of the Arab countries. She never said one word to Trump.
No, she's not going to say a word to Trump. You know why she's not going to say a word to Trump? And I don't care what you all think about Trump. That's your business. You know why she isn't going to say a word to Trump? Because she can't step off an airline in Miami airport. Just like the Prime Minister of Bermuda, who stepped off an aircraft in Miami airport and was arrested by the FBI. So you can't mess around with Mr. Trump. Kamala Bissessar was able to meet with Mr. Trump, and our Prime Minister was excluded. You can say whatever you want to say about him. I'm not here to debate and discuss that matter. But it just goes to show that she is not as influential on the global politic position as she is being made out to be. That's the reality of it. And in this line of geopolitics, you're going to watch her crumble before this year is out. I guarantee you before this year is out. She's going to be off the scene of geopolitics in the world.
Yeah, because nobody even will remember her. I'm telling you, because she's not memorable. All she does
served
is
her purpose.
She served her purpose.
Gone. Move on.
Yeah, and you know, I'm telling you, and you know, I'm gonna call it what I see it as. I believe that there are others underneath her there that she's suppressing that could do a better job at managing. We must get away. I want to say this to everybody, whether it's a DLP or whatever party, Dr. Ferdinand, we must get away from believing that a good talker, a good speaker is a good leader. We get fooled with that nonsense all the time. So we will say that if a leader is not a good speaker, that they're a bad leader. That doesn't necessarily mean that. And a great speaker doesn't mean a good leader. Do you understand? We're mixing it up. We're mixing that up.
So here we go again. $31 million overrun with Carifesta. 31 million. What's going to be the overrun for overpasses and flyovers? Huh? What's going to be the overrun? Because she's announced that we will now have the promised flyovers in 18 months. 18 months. I want to see where the millions of dollars, whose pockets that is going to go into. I want to see who will be the contractors called to build that. I want to see if that will go out to tender. That's what we want to see, because that's how it's supposed to be done. And you expect me to accept anything that you come before me with a budget when somebody makes as astronomical a failure of 800% increase overrun on any project, they disqualify themselves for any other involvement financially with anything they're doing. Anything. I'm sorry, you have
Yeah,
completely
yeah,
eradicated your credibility. Completely
yeah.
eradicated it.
They have annoyed me tonight, and it's okay.
Completely.
There are lots of Christian people who believe that you mustn't get angry, but I'm telling you, you need to get angry at
Well,
things.
that's not what the Apostle Paul says. He says, "Be angry and sin not." I don't see
You
him
know,
saying, "Don't get angry."
you need to get angry because that's the only way that anger, then you turn that into action. Anger does not mean hate. And that's where Dr. Ferdinand, a lot of people they don't understand.
Yeah.
So we say tonight the Carifesta overrun of $31 million, an increase of 800%. It lies squarely on the prime minister of the country, who was the minister of culture. When you begin to say that, and then because of that, then you say, well, that means that this person is just not a competent manager. They're not a competent, they can't govern anything. Somebody says, well, you hate the prime minister. And as a Christian, you should not hate. No, you have shown me your ability or inability. I didn't assume that, when you took leadership, I didn't assume your inability, that you were not competent. I assumed you were competent. I tell you that, I did. I just thought they had such bright people, and I couldn't understand how they can't get anything off the ground, until I realized, okay, this woman, she don't have much. It's just a speaker, but she's a dreamer. She's dreams, big ideas. Everything she sees outside, she brings it here. And she wants this, and she wants Dubai on steroids, and this, and all of that. But the details, how it's done, nobody taught her that. How it's done. If you never taken a project from start to finish, why should we have you leading a country? You're going to run it into ruins, as you are doing now. I would like somebody on here to put tell me one thing, in all honesty, and Dr. Ferdinand as well. Give me one project that this Mia Motley administration has started and completed. Put that in there for me. Put that in the comment section, because I sat down honestly on my veranda the other day, and I was thinking about it. I said, Marcy, I wonder if you're being biased, and I couldn't find it. There, and I will always say a lot of these things are good ideas. Like I said, that I think that feeding the children breakfast is a good idea.
Yes.
Usually the good ideas they have, Dr. Ferdinand, is when it comes to the execution, it's poor. You know how much wastage is going to happen in that? I hate to say it, as much as it's a good idea, the wastage, because they don't know how to govern. And they have nobody there that is going to be, over their shoulder to be able to say, because, that's where you get better. When you get criticism, you get better at what you do. I'm sitting here, sometimes people send me the most of things when they send me here. And, you humble yourself and you listen and you change things around, because they're sending me things while the show is going on, even tonight. Telling me about the banner I have. Sometimes they spot a spelling error. Sometimes somebody said tonight, Marcia, take off the condolences to RALPH Thorne, make it separate from Carifesta 2025. I listen to that, because through criticism is how you grow. But now Minister Strawn is telling the learned economists that they must
the professors
pull up their socks. What are we living in? Oh my God.
And he is not a professor. He is a first class honor student. So we got the student telling the teacher that he has to pull up. You know what my mother would do with him? She had a Mercedes-Benz leather strap. She would drop 6 good lashes across his back and tell him, go and sit at the back of the class. That's what my mother would have done with him.
Listen, somebody here wrote me, and said this. Good morning. Good. They wrote me yesterday. Good morning. Yesterday's budget was presented and included goodies for some. I want to know when I will receive my income tax refund for 2018. You listening, Dr. Purdy?
Yes, I am.
In 2021, I received an email indicating that the information submitted was assessed as correct. I telephoned and emailed the department. I went into BRA to check last November about my refund. I was told by the officer that the information was assessed. However, they are waiting on funds for me to be paid. This income tax was since 2018. Make it make sense.
How you mean they're waiting on funds?
Thanks
We're
for sharing
15.
my concern. And then they wrote tonight and said, good night. This is why I can't get back my 2018 income tax return because of these overruns. People need their money. You're going to tell me from 2018?
What's the other?
Well, I'm sure this is not the only person who did not get back their tax return since 2018. We know Mia Motley is no economist. She did say that she don't know what she said. She can't count or something. We know that. Yeah, so on Michael Howard need to pull up his socks. I
Imagine
tell you.
that. Professor Michael Howard. I can't even say trained economists. Economists that teach trained economists or teach economists to be trained. And a first class honor student is going to tell his professor he got to pull up his socks.
He has to pull up his socks.
This guy's a joker, man.
Right?
I had respect for him up until yesterday.
You know what? It's
That
not
was
that I had it's not even respect. I just never believed that he
That's it.
it's not competent. You know, I don't believe
That's
in them. I don't believe in them. I believe that, though I also believe that there's some people in there who could do a better job in being a prime minister in their own party, but not given the chance. And I was happy, you know, I said I was happy that he became a minister. I was one of those. I would say, you know, at least he's not carrying me a purse anymore, you know, as a little junior minister. But he is now able to, you know, I was happy about that. But to see that, I mean, this is what, you know, no, we don't want to hear nothing more from you because you're arrogant, and an arrogant person is a fool. Well, we're done tonight.
Wow.
We're done tonight. And, you know, I know people saying the flag needs to come on the ground. Well, listen, you all need to take them out of there is what you all need to do. And, you know, the flag needs to come on the ground. That's one issue. But it's not the only issue about the flag. It's that you went and put them back in. You all went and put them back in and gave them all the seats. And now complaining about your tax return, you didn't get back your tax return. You're complaining about not can't get operation at the QEH. You can't get your eye examined. You can't get, because you believe when they said they were red and ready, you believe them. And you put them back there. Don't tell me nothing more about no flag. You understand? You went and put them there. But anyway, Dr. Ferdinand, let's close off for the night.
Marcia, I am so grateful for my country. I'm going to try to end on a good note. I'm so grateful for my country. I really appreciate and love Barbados. I'm thankful for my family, and I want to again say thanks to all of the loyal opposition for your support and your prayers for my wife. But I want to say this. We have to have a sense of hope and faith in our country and in our God. I do not take my national pledge lightly. I pledge allegiance to my country, Barbados, and to my flag, to uphold and defend their honor. Every one of us recited this as children in school. Now we are adults. We refuse to defend the honor of our country. And I ask you, if you refuse to do that, can you truly call yourself a genuine Barbadian? Because that was the pledge that we made. I did not pledge my loyalty to a government or to a party or a person. I pledged my loyalty to my country and to my flag. And my mother drilled that into my head down through the years. And I want to close tonight by reiterating that pledge, Marcia. If we really mean it, then we need to start to take steps to defend our country.
Yes, very well said. And with that, we close tonight's show. And all I'll say to us Barbadians is that you have to be ready. You have to be ready. You have to determine what you want for your country. It's your country. What is it that you want for your country? Nobody can do it for you. Are you going to allow people to urinate on you and tell you that it's raining, and they keep doing that year after year? What will you do? This is your country. Are you going to leave this without, it's going to just be left alone, this whole Carifesta issue? Are you going to stand with the DLP on this? And everybody, can we come together on this? Can we come together and say we're not moving forward until we get a detailed report on our money? Can we say that? God bless you all. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. We will see you again on Sunday. Keep praying for Mr. Thorne and the DLP family on a whole, because his brother worked with the DLP. Okay, Sunday we're hoping to have, hopefully we'll have Miss Maxine McLean on Sunday, Glenn Murray on Monday. God bless you all. Have a good night.
God bless. Have a great night, loyal opposition. Bye-bye.
The bees rambling, the bees scrambling, cause they know they have not done very well. Yeah, the bees hustling, the bees boasting, yeah. But the cost of living got me catching hell. Yeah, they tryna patch the patches in the roads and delivering plenty lies by the loads. They now promising beach access when all along it was causing us stress. We don't want the bees no more. We don't want the bees no more. This pause and walk back government has to go. Yeah, we saying please no more. God knows we can't take no more. These inefficient imposters have to go. Yeah, the bees running, the bees balling, yeah, cause their internal polling was very bleak. The bees hurting, some of them now praying, yeah, cause on governance they've been very weak. So we're saying bees no more. We telling the bees no more. We will use our X to settle the score. Yeah. Tell the bees to go. We can't take them anymore. Cause for the borrowed billions, there's nothing to show. Prime Minister, you've called the election, but you still haven't answered our question. What's the latest on the Constitution? About the transport board, you ain't said not done. Why your ministers can't fix the hospital? And when will we get an auditor general? What about the issue at Saviana Bay? And will we ever see the Hyatt building bout here? Should we hope to hear about the whole or how much Carifesta cost the treasury. Yeah, yeah. Look, Prime Minister, we know that you know your administration has been extremely poor. They're trying to hold on to your coattail, a coattail that is now very frail. So please go, please.